Welcome in, everyone. It's our Power Hour flow and charts. If you're new to this, we look at unusual whales flow, market tide, periscope, whatever you want on the platform. Talk about the market, look at charts, so on. If you got any requests that you want me to take a peek at, feel free to drop it in the chat and I can take a peek at the chart flow, or if you got questions about the market. Otherwise, it's been kind of a slow late morning to afternoon. Just kind of looking at the market tide right now. Getting that put premium slightly starting to kind of tick up here. Call, out of the money calls are bid side. All call premiums are ask side. So this would still read as a bullish market tide still, but you are having put premiums tick up here. Something to keep an eye on. Just kind of looking at Periscope right now. Just a lot of positive gamma right now with this 6,900 to the 7,000-ish range, and then negative gamma at 705 or 7,005. Not nothing really any big signals here. You are kind of have a little negative gamma here, but not really much going on otherwise on that. And yeah, flow has just been a lot of earnings flow, just not a lot of nothing really actionable today from what I found for flow, but if you took those UNG puts from Friday, be pretty happy today. That's kind of the only trade I've been in all day. I haven't even scalped or anything there, but yeah, otherwise not too much going on. Not too much going on. Kind of a quiet Monday, and it's expected. We have a busy week of earnings here. Let's see. SPY 698 call for tomorrow. Let's go take a peek. SPY 698 call, and tomorrow's the 3rd. Oops, 2-3. Not really seeing anything here, just kind of a lot of volume. Hard to kind of see something that's an identifiable whale there. Does look like it's obvious. No, your bid ask is about split there. It's about even there. I'm not really seeing nothing specific on this chain there for your Pipsy. Oh, I had a big yawn there. I had to move the mic there. Let's see. Lilu wants me to take a peek at Avgo. Yeah, we can go take a peek at Avgo here. 1 second here. Let's go look at Avgo. So Avgo today seeing a lot of ask side call premiums here. Put premiums are bid side. Kind of slightly ticking up here towards the end of the day. Getting a lot of call volume. Let's look at contracts for you though. I don't know what's coming in contract wise. Let's see. We have earnings 31 days out, so keep that in mind. From what I'm seeing here, I mean, seems like you're seeing a lot of bullishness here, and a lot of it's not overlapping earnings. None of this overlaps earnings except that 32-day out call here, that 3635, that 28. Let's just see. Yeah, a lot of hits on this one, so definitely would want to kind of check that open interest tomorrow. This is probably your only kind of major identifiable whale on this one, 129 contracts. You do have those other spikes of about 69, 82, 80, 69 there. I would double check that open interest. Otherwise, this one could be an interesting chain to keep an eye on there weekly, so they are looking for a quicker move there. That 26342 call, and keep in mind too, these ones expire Wednesday, so a lot of these names have Wednesday expirations now. So like Avgo, Amazon, so on. A lot of these big names have that Wednesday expiration too. So that kind of gonna see a lot more option flow that way as well. This one, pretty high multi-leg, probably would avoid that one, and you also have the big hits there. So you'd want to verify that open interest anyways, but I don't like that high multi-leg. Short-term put, these are in the money. This one is identifiable as an opener. Let's just kind of take a peek at it. Come in here, take a peek. So that IV spikes when it comes in. 438, it's kind of following it up. Yeah, I mean, this one doesn't look too bad here. This could be a potential one to keep an eye on there. See the 29330 calls. This one, again, one that you'd have to kind of double check that open interest. You're just not seeing a lot of volume on here, so you can't really easily identify it if it's an opening trade. But these, let's just see. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably lean potentially opening. I just want to see that open interest. But your overall flow does look pretty, I'd say, bullish here, at least short midterm there. Let's see. Look at the GEX for the day. And there is a big hit around the 340 mark. We can go take a peek at that. Let's go look. And gamma, so have been seeing some negative gamma. So that 340 is what you were looking at. 340. So 340, and it looks like it's probably that 320. 340 and that 320. What was that one that we were looking at? 340. Okay, let's go. Well, we do it like this. So it was the 340. Alright, Avgo 340. Alright, 1 second here. Avgo 340. Let's see if I can find that day one more time. It looks like 320 has a lot of that there. So 320. Just kind of trying to see when this started to come in here. So looks like a lot of it started to kind of come in. And I hate when it starts to go back this far because you can only go back 90 days. But I mean that you're seeing a lot of that ask side call premium there, so that's where you're seeing that spike and that gamma there for that strike. That 340 again. Looks like you're getting a lot kind of on that 325, 320 as well. 307. Yeah, your big dates, that 26, 220, the 320. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, those are kind of just your three biggest dates that I'm seeing there. And let's see, so we said they had earnings coming up. It was on 3/5, so another month to go. And just kind of looking at that historical implied, or that historical move after earnings for Avgo there. I mean, kind of scattered all over. I mean, you have down, up, up, down, up. So, I mean, you're not really getting a clear read there on the actual earnings print there. Yeah, I do want to look at, sorry, one more thing on here. I just want to look at that net premium for the last couple weeks. Could see a little upside here. I mean, you have the net premium spike back here on 127 and then 130 there, so that would tell me that there could be a potential upside move there. Then you're getting a little more today, so it could look for some upside, and then you have that kind of more midterm flow to go with it as well. So it's definitely something I'd keep an eye on there. All right, let's see what else is coming in here. Got some Intel calls hitting the tape here. I'm gonna grab a drink here quick too. So 1 second. Okay. Alright, let's look at these Intels and we can look at this Apple. These Intels, the 22052 call here. So not right at the ask, but we are leaning more on the ask side. Again, this is something where you're already up 6% on the day, so it kinda not very favorable when you have to chase. Let's just kind of go look at that flow. So when that flow starts to come in, see how that IV spikes. That spot is filling at the bid here, but let's just kind of follow this up here. So still filling at the mid. Then that bid turns into the ask there. When it gets a little goofy like this, I don't get it. Oh, and then you have that IV drop here a little bit at the end, then it spikes here. Yeah, this is something that I'm gonna throw this in the risky flow channel. Like this is the definition of that risky flow channel. Like the flow looks good, but there's things that are off about it. Like that spot was kind of messed up there, and then your IV's off a little bit. So the flow it looks good, but there's some little internals on it that don't look very textbook here. So let me throw this into our risky flow. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's hard when it's already up. I mean, almost 6% on the day as well. Almost a chase at that point. All right, let's go. We're going to look at those apples. A 213, 270 calls, and I think Apple might still be up. So, yeah, a lot of hits coming in here. Looks like some of that did kind of move. I would want to double check open interest on this one, but you are seeing a lot of those ask side hits. I would probably assume that a good handful of this should carry over. Again, you won't know till tomorrow when that open interest updates. But really interesting flow here towards that end of the day. And I mean, Apple's just been on a tear. Let's see what else we got. Bros. 220.58 call. These overlap earnings. So already up on the day. 4% out of the money. Not too bad. No multi-leg. Let's go in here and take a peek. So IV spikes when it comes in. That looks good. It is saying it's repeating its descending fill, so I want to find out where that is. So I can probably, so it's on this one right there. So you're coming at 339. Again, that is pretty much right at the ask. That is a, I would consider that still at the ask there. You're 1 cent below. So just kind of following that up. Another little spike there. So on one contract, again, not a huge deal. IV comes back up. So the part I'm not liking here is kind of that IV decrease towards the end there. So this is one that would be that risky flow channel where that IV, I mean, it's kind of all over in a couple spots there in that bid and then at the end. And again, it does overlap earnings. So, and it's not one of those where it's that week 212. Maybe my math is wrong. Let's see, 212. So 18 days, yeah. So like this is definitely risky flow. Like it might be earnings, but it might not be earnings related. So definitely interesting there. Those Piton got hit a little earlier too, and I know I threw that into the risky flow. I think it was at 165. And Piton, I mean, it's such a slow mover. You'll always randomly sometimes get long-term Piton flow. Let's look at these 18s that came in though. Let's find those 6s that came in. Sorry, not 226 call, again, up kind of on the day. I'm not a fan of names under 10 bucks. They're just so slow, and I don't have the patience for that. Not seeing anything bad within the flow here. I mean, besides the earnings overlap there, I mean, IV spikes coming in at the ask there pretty much. That 42 there, you'd still be pretty much coming in at the ask. Looks like that's, yeah, I'm not seeing anything bad with that. I mean, that IV rises there. But again, overlaps earnings. Let's see, Wolf puts her hand in the tape right now. Gonna definitely be an earnings overlap. A lot of hits on this one, so I think it looks like they're all gonna be 2,500-ish or so, 25,498. Yeah, this is, I would double check that open interest, and we do have almost 10,000 contracts already open. So it looks like that's a 7,500. Yeah, you'd have to definitely double check open interest on this one. I wonder if these are, how these look. 94. So, I mean, these read as a 9302. These might be short puts there. I'm just kind of seeing how that IV is bouncing around there. I don't get a good feeling about that. And I wonder if I look at this candle here. So let's just kind of look at that. So that IV slightly up earlier in the day. 97.29, and then it's kind of decreasing here, increasing there. 7. Yeah, this is one of those where, let's keep following this. Let's see, 97.19. So then it's dropping here. Yeah, these almost look like they're short puts there. I mean, that IV's just kind of all over the place on those big spikes. I mean, you have the IV increase there, or well, technically increase there, or sorry, decrease. So 97.19, then we're at the 95.77, 95.82. It increases there, then decreases there at the end. It's hard to know. Just, I mean, they're so far dated out, and they overlap earnings. How far are these out of the money? 19% out of the money. I'd want to say they're short puts. They look like they're short to me. Just that IV's not giving a super clean read. Yeah, I'd probably lean short puts on those. Again, something that's very long term as well too. And I just don't like that IV. How it's just, I mean, pops, and then it drops there, and it's all on the big size too. So I mean, that's what makes it a little more difficult there. Let's see if we got any other flow coming in that might be able to give us some clues here. Oops. Alright, let's pop this down a little bit. It looks like it's just those 11 puts. And then short-term call, short-term call. Let's look at those 13s, 100% multi-leg. They're going to tell us it's put front spread. Yeah, so I mean, they want it to pretty much stay flat, maybe a small little drop there. Yeah, those wolves, I'd probably lean short on those. I mean, if you make me pick. IoT, the 3/20/22 puts. So these, again, overlap earnings. You're going to hear that a lot the next week or two. Let's go in here, take a peek. 17% out of the money. It's already getting clapped today. Definitely an opening trade. Let's Let's see how this looks. So, I mean, you don't have much to really go off of there, but IV at that 79.58. Spot is filling at the ask. Yeah, that spot's at the ask. IV's not really changing or anything. I would probably say these are buy to open, but again, you have earnings in 31 days to worry about. Palantir reports today after hours. We will look at Palantir. Let me just clean up some of these tabs here. Palantir, let's look at how they perform for earnings. So last 15 quarters, technically, because today will be the 16th quarter. So average move of about a little over 3.5. So down, up, down, up, 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 down, yeah. I mean, if when we beat with that implied move, you favor that upside. How do we historically? Let's see. So I'm just kind of looking at that. Oof. I mean, when you get that good move, I mean, that 1 day move is very high. Very high 1 day move there. Yeah, that 1 day move is pretty nasty. So, I mean, that it is something that I would look to potentially beat that implied move. What's our implied move? 8.93%. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting report there. Alright, let's see if we got anything for premiums coming in on it. Oops, come back here. I mean, you're pretty flat since 122. I mean, you had that big spike back there on 121, which is still technically an open gap there. But other than that, I mean, your premium's just kind of flat there. Maybe some calls coming off the table there. And yeah, I mean, flow's been pretty mixed for it today. Alright, what else do we got coming in? Those UNG put. I wonder if we got anything for UNG coming in. I'm out of my puts for UNG already, but man, probably could have squeezed a little more money out of that. That's fine. That is fine. Yeah, we can look at SoFi here. Yeah, UNG, man, what a move from Friday. I mean, that's a phenomenal. I mean, that you tail that, you are happy. Let's go look at SoFi. So SoFi, let's just kind of look at premiums and work our way out. And I know they have earnings. When do we have earnings for SoFi? Or did we already report? I think we reported. It was the 30th. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure off the top of my head. Usually banks are first up, so. Yeah, I mean, it's just clobbered there, especially after earnings. Your premiums are pretty much, I mean, put premiums were up there. Not really seeing any call participation or anything yet. How's our gamma look? Gamma, yeah, you're still seeing some negative exposure there. Let's see what we got for flow, though. Let's see, short-term calls, 2-6, when did these come in? Nothing identifiable for an opener in there. Then you had a bunch of volume on Friday as well. Yeah, nothing really identifiable for that one. About these puts. Looks like that whale got in puts pretty close to the open. Just slightly green on those. About the 25-day out calls. These could be interesting. These are 1% in the money. Yeah, I'll see if I can find some flow for you though, M1. Let's see. These are interesting. So your IV increases, spot price fills with the ask. These could be an interesting one, that 227.22 call. I would say that's interesting. I would just double check that open interest tomorrow. That whale was 651 contracts, a little light on the volume, but you just got a couple spikes thereafter, so that's kind of why I'm check that open interest tomorrow. Let's see what else we got. How about these 11 days? Yeah, a lot of ask side. 308 there, another 211 there, about 500. Yeah, just have to double check that open interest, and there was that volume from Friday too. You just start getting so many contracts changing hands, and about half of that only from Friday carried over, so it's you just start getting so many contracts changing hands. That's a lower premium here. I'm usually at least looking for 90K plus. But yeah, the most interesting one there was that 227.22 call, just one that you'd want to double check that open interest on. I like that first spike there. They're pretty much right at the money. Let's see. So PayPal. Let's go look at PayPal. Yep, PayPal tomorrow morning. Plus minus of 7 points or $4 movement, 7.68% implied move. Premium wise, not really seeing anything major in here. I gotta get a drink here quick, sorry, 1 second. Okay. Alright, man, I'm drinking and yawning. I'm just, it's one of those days where that price action is just horrible and just ready for it to be done. Yeah, nothing really for the premiums on PayPal. Yeah, your gamma, I mean, that thing is just a lot of negative gamma. Everything's kind of covered there for your gaps. Your upside gamma, though, I mean, you could look for some upside there. I know we had a couple pieces of flow today on it. Just the one earnings put here, and I mean 103. They're trading at 122 now. They could have been trying to maybe look for a downward move today. Hard to know, but that whale would already be up 22% on those too. Let's see what else we got though for it. Yeah, I'm just kind of just doing a quick glance. I mean, a lot of short-term flow there, a lot of earnings flow. It does seem like it's. Let me go to my days to expiration here. Okay, we're gonna look at weeklies here, just to obviously, yeah. I mean, you're getting a lot of puts for the weeklies, so that's. I mean, you got the you got the two calls, and that's kind of a bigger call there, but don't know how much of this is carrying over, so on. Did have some previous open interest too. Looks like it started in the 28th there. Oh man, I got the yawn bug going on right now. Yeah, you just don't really know here what's going on, so I wouldn't say anything in here. Just identifiable. But yeah, these puts, I just want to see how they're kind of looking here. I wonder if they're just chasing, because you're seeing some bid side action there now. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of interesting weekly put flow on PayPal there. Another one there. Let's see that historical move on it. I mean, when it hits that implied move, historically it's hit that downside there. It's like that downside a lot. And I mean, your average move has been minus a little over 1% there. Just kind of look at those moves. Yeah, I mean, now I'm kind of looking at that history there, and obviously every quarter is going to be different. I mean, your 1 day move obviously is going to be pretty large, but let's see. Your 3 day move, I mean, just historically, the last 9 reports have ended up being green. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. It's mixed historical data there. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, they consistently beat earnings. It's just PayPal. There's just you got. I want to look at the chart on PayPal. I haven't traded PayPal for a while. But I do want to take a peek at that chart. Get out of there. Oh, wrong PayPal. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that is such an ugly chart. I'm going to move this down. Yeah, I mean, just if you're gonna bounce, I mean, I'm looking for maybe a little more downside to that 58 level there towards that bottom there, but man, that's such an ugly chart. Such an ugly chart, and I wonder how long if we'll ever even see that 141 to 151 gap get filled there. Let's see if we got any other gaps in here. Looks like we got a couple closer ones. So a little gap there, 64.81, 65.25-ish. Let's see, what else? That one's filled, so we still have that gap at 82 to 85. Man, it's just such an ugly chart on that, though, where it's... I wouldn't touch this one, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you did like a small little lotto potential, I mean, you saw the flow there, Andrea. I mean, it was your weekly flow there. I mean, I'll show you the flow. I don't. You can probably assume what I would be potentially grabbing. I mean, like those, they're cheaper plays too. So I mean, if looking for a gamble or something to itch the gambling need there, I mean that could be a possibility. But you know my view on earnings. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. These MRVLs, though, that's big size and good premium here. I know they have these don't overlap earnings. These could be interesting. Yeah, it's one of those where and you looked at that 3 day historical move. I mean, it favored the upside, and you are kind of coming into that middle of that demand zone, and like you said, 52-week low. So look at these MRVLs. These are interesting. Big spike in call premium. Looks like I'm gonna assume it's from this. I mean, 1.3 million, 8% of the total volume on the day. Let's take a peek at these. And I like them because we don't overlap earnings. So 54.69. Okay, so just kind of keeping. So about an hour ago, we'll see how the rest of the flow kind of looks here. 469. 469. So IV's dropping here towards the end. I don't like that, but then see how it kind of spikes again here on some more size and premium there. And it's technically a spot it would be an ascending fill there. I mean, it's clearly the same person. I'll tell you 99% sure. I mean, same second, roughly same size, same premium that you've been seeing there. This is something that I'm going to throw into that risky flow channel there just because you have that kind of IV drop there and then it spikes at the end. But this is definitely some interesting flow to keep an eye on. So let me pop that in there. And I do like that spike in that net call premium too. Let me throw this in there. Yeah, you just see there's not that much super good looking actionable flow coming in today. Probably be like that for a majority of the week too. I mean, it's earnings season. Circle. We'll see how this one looks. 60% out of the money for December. So block trade here, we don't have anything before or after to really see how this whale, the size premium impacts the IV spot, bid ask, anything. So I typically pass on these just because you don't have that other context to kind of look at. I would, if you made me pick, I would probably assume they're buying open. I mean, this thing is getting absolutely smacked today. Oh, I don't want to look at that circle. Yeah, and not really seeing much. I mean, you had that spike in that net call premium back there on 128, but other than that, I mean, not much participation going on in there. Any other flow to kind of go along with it? Nope, not that one. I'm ready for this day to be over. My eyes are just heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So this is interesting to me. So you have that 1218.95 call, that 1218.45. Very similar. I wonder if these two are related to each other without being related to each other. They're not showing multi-leg. I think these two are related to each other. I mean, we'll never know 100%, but just kind of looking at that long dated flow. So, I mean, these, I would read these as buys. IV is increasing that entire time up. Spot fills at the ask that entire time. And I mean, you just look at that similar timing. I mean, very similar volume, very similar premium. Something I would lean that these are probably related. And then when we looked at those calls again too, oh, that puts up blocks. So yeah, I mean, like it. I would probably make a very good educated guess they are related. Again, we'll never know, but just kind of that screen time, looking at that size, that premium, something could be up there. Otherwise, yeah, I mean everything else looks pretty short on it. Oh man, does anybody have anything they want me to take a peek at? Oh, let's see. Sorry, I didn't see your message there, Daphne. AMD. Let's look at AMD. I was just gonna say, does anybody have anything they want me to take a peek at? You beat me to it. Yeah, we can look at IWM here next, Pipsy. So AMD here, you do have that call outflow coming in here, back from 130 and then back on 126 there. I would be looking for that premium to potentially fill that gap at some point. Flow wise, it's just been nothing super good. I mean, you had those long calls that I think you talked about the 245 earlier this morning, and that's such a tough one. I mean, you're coming in 21 seconds after open. I kind of tend to like to wait. I mean, those things moved very quick too. Um, yeah, I'm just. I mean, you got these calls. These weekly calls are interesting to me. They are. They're still in. Earnings tomorrow afternoon. I believe, or is it Wednesday? Let's see. I gotta look. 2, 3. Oh, okay, yeah, tomorrow. I know there's a bunch on Wednesday too, and I'm just like, ugh, great. So it's interesting because now that I'm kind of looking at it here, I mean, you're looking at that timing there. I would make an educated guess just kind of based off that timing. I mean, they're about 11 seconds apart. Kind of solid uniform size in there. Then you get the large size there. I think these could potentially be call cells because you have that IV drop when it comes in. And then you have a small little rise there. I mean, AMD's so highly traded, especially on the week and earnings week. It's hard to know what's all connected. I would probably say, I mean, if I added up 34, so 57, 67, 74, 89 plus that. So 93 plus potentially another 7 there, or 7 there. Hard to know, hard to know. That's just me kind of spitting out numbers there. But just kind of based on what I have here, I would probably say these are short calls. Again, with earnings, you just never know. That's the thing. IWM. I did see some IWM puts a little bit or earlier in the day here. Let's go find them. So it was a 248, 320, 248 puts. Again, you got 4,000 there, 8,000, 4. So you got 16 there, and then 16 there. So I wonder if this whale is exiting here at the mid and bid. So I think that one might. This is probably gonna say no, but I mean you're seeing a lot of put premium on IWM there. I don't know what else we got for the day. Let's go look. So come in here. Let's do this. Let's get rid of 0 days. Let me clean up that multi-leg here. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the premiums here. 515. I'll make an educated guess. Most of this will probably carry over. I mean, different size candles there. Put nothing really identifiable in that. This was a identifiable spike, but we don't know if they slowly kind of sized out here. That's the only thing. Elongated calls. Again, just, I mean, I will make the good assumption that most of this will carry over, just different size candles. Little lighter size, but still interesting. Yeah, the short-term puts. Yeah, that's the only thing with those ETFs. They're just so highly liquid where, unless you have a massive spike like something like this, you don't really get a good track. I'd say that 266 and the 268 calls are interesting to me here, though. I mean, I'll make an educated guess that most of this will probably carry over, and most of this will carry over, and it's really interesting because just the way this has been coming in all day, and you have 2 hits like that where they're coming in periodically, different sizes. I would probably write these ones down and kind of keep an eye out on them. So IWM, we're 102 days out. So let's go. IWM. Oops. Okay. Oh, I always have all the ETFs at the top. I'm like, where did it go? Okay, I gotta move this back up, otherwise I'm gonna forget it was there. And clean this up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just looking at the daily there. I mean, last 2 days, if I draw that bottom of the day today, bottom of the day Friday, I mean, you're bouncing up off that uptrend. You could potentially see a little move up here, maybe to the top of this other uptrend there. Just kind of, let's see, we're not going to get a good clean trend line here, but I do like that bounce there from November, beginning of January, and then Friday, and then today. I mean, that's, you could be getting a little double bottom-ish type candle there. I mean, double bottom bounce, double bottom bounce, double bottom, come back up maybe to that 271 potentially. I mean, you're getting good, decent volume today too. Yeah, that chart's really interesting there. Let's see. Yeah, and I mean, premium-wise, you did get that move down there after that big spike, but not really seeing tons of call participation. Gamma, yeah, a lot of negative gamma on it though. A lot of negative gamma, and I mean, you can see where all that is on the strike, and your expiration looks like it's all 220. Ew. Yeah, that is one of those interesting names. I was trying to look up something. Now I forgot what I was going to look up. Let's see. I was going to look up something on the data there, but now I forgot what. Slipped my mind. Yeah, but no, definitely that 515 and 266 and 268 really interesting to me there. Definitely some you could potentially see an eye on it. Yeah, I mean, it's just been tons of silver, gold calls, puts, all that fun stuff coming in. I'm not touching anything metals right now. That is a little too, I mean, too volatile right now. Too volatile. And I mean, you're seeing, it's mostly, I mean, kind of calls. Let's see. So V, GLD, GDX. I mean, you look at that flow, they're buying that dip. Buying that dip really long out though. I mean, oh hey, those came back actually. I remember posting those. Yeah, little move back on those. Very volatile though. I mean, to sit through that volatility, most people don't want to sit through all that. I would rather deploy my money somewhere else where I can see a quicker return. Alright, what else? Anything new else coming in? SMCI, we have earnings today. We were talking about Avgo a little bit earlier, so I want to pop back to that and then we'll look at SMCI. The 213, 310 puts. Multi-leg 15%, a little high there. Oh, let's go take a peek. So 53.40 IV spikes when it comes in. Spot is filling at the ask. Don't like that IV drop there at the end. These don't overlap earnings though, so it's interesting. I just don't like that IV drop that was at the end there. And you're not really seeing a lot of ask side puts coming here. If we were seeing some more ask side puts, then might like the flow a little bit more. So SMCI, these are earnings. This thing is just volatile. I mean, ask side calls, ask side puts. Open the day at 29.57, hit about 30, and now we're back down to that 29.58-ish again. Very volatile, and I don't even really look at the fundamental or the internals on the earnings flow. Flow could look perfect. Earnings, I mean, well, it's 100% a gamble there. Even if the flow's perfect, everything can look perfect, but and I am seeing a lot of bid side call activity here too, so that's telling me that price wants to potentially gravitate towards those levels. towards that kind of 28-ish level. And if we look at earnings, I mean, you hit that implied move there historically, downside, 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 downside. Average move, I mean, not a percent, but you hit that implied move, it's typically big. I mean, 18%, wow, what a big plus minus on that expected move there, and we didn't even hit the implied move. That's wild there. Wild, wild, wild. Yeah, just not much coming in. Close that out. PayPal, more calls here, so Andrea, this might be good for you. So let's see, this is 692, we'll say 700 plus 500, so about 1100, 1800 there. So this, so you know it's not closing flow. So that multi-leg's a little high. We'll see where that's kind of multi-leggy. So it doesn't look like it's within the whale flow. IV spikes, 467. Spot stays at the ask. This flow looks good. I would consider this as buy, but again, earnings tomorrow morning that you gotta potentially hold through that drawdown. But again, just kind of looking at that 3-day historical move, I keep coming back to that. Keep coming back to that. 3-day move, I mean, it's favored the upside. It's favored the upside. But again, history doesn't always repeat, especially with earnings. You just never know what's going to come out in that report. But yeah, definitely some interesting flow on this one. Definitely interesting and pretty big premium there too. Pretty big premium. I want to see. I want to see what that volume's look. Yeah, we're pretty. Yeah, I mean, look at that volume. I'm 66 million. We're way below the average. Let's see. Is any of our sectors actually above the average today? Materials, communications potentially might hit that. It's 5 minutes left. Yeah, I mean everything else. I mean very below average. Energy above. So you have one sector, two sectors, three sectors above that 30-day average. SPY's not even close, or S&P 500's not even close. That is a low volume day there. 30-day wise, and again, I mean market's waiting on earnings. That's your big catalyst because I believe they we'll see if they updated it on here. I think they postponed the non-farm payrolls on Friday with that little government shutdown issue there, so JOLTS are postponed. Yeah, a lot of that data is postponed now. Now we got to deal with that again. I mean, oh hey, look at that, and you got some more long-term PayPal calls coming in here too. 5:15:55. Very interesting. Definitely opening the leg. This is not multi-leg at all. I like these. So like this is really good flow here. It's long-term flow, but IV spikes. Spot is filling at the ask. IV spikes again. Spot is technically filling at the ask there. That bid ask increases there a little bit at the end. So I mean that's 46.57. We stay up. Yeah, I mean little flow after here, but it's only a couple contracts where it doesn't really concern me too much when A bulk of that is at the ask. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, that's your. Looks like this might be a big spike in that. That's only 1% of that total volume. Yeah, you're trading almost 3 times that 30-day volume today, too. Which is expected with the earnings tomorrow. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting one there. Roblox earnings flow here. Just see how it kind of looks. 11% out of the money. Some of that came in yesterday, Friday. $1,500 traded, only 1,000 carried over. Yeah, nothing super interesting there. Not massive premium either. How's Roblox do for earnings? Yeah, just kind of mixed. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Average move of about almost negative 2%. Yeah, another historical move or 3-day move where it favors that. Upside. Oof. That's a bad one, though. That's a bad one. But yeah, I mean, historically, it favors that upside. Alright, what else? Do we have anything else coming in here towards close? What's the market doing? Just try. Yeah, I mean, very quick move today. I mean, you got that early move, and I mean, this is pretty much untradeable to me. This is, I mean, you're not, you get caught in that sideways chop. It's just not a nice, solid, easy trade to follow along, and it's not good price action to be caught in, especially if you're trading 0 days. And yeah, that's one thing I do want to show. So like Amazon, look at Amazon. You now have that Wednesday expiration in there. So you're going to see some midweek flow now too. I mean, Apple has it. Yeah, a lot of these big names have flow expiring a couple times in the week. So you got Monday flow, the 9th. Yeah, I'm not a that Monday flow is going to be interesting. I bet we're going to see a lot of hits on that stuff. People trying to get theta over the weekend, I bet. But alright, I don't think we're gonna have anything else really coming. It's kind of a quiet close, so I am probably gonna hop off here. Yeah, I mean you're just getting a very choppy close. Market's gonna wait on Palantir for earnings. But alright everybody, I'm gonna hop off here. Thanks for hanging out. Probably have another one of these tomorrow, so enjoy the rest of your afternoon.